So before I get started with all of the other meal prep and snack storage, all that stuff, I'm going to make dinner with this au jus mix, ranch, a stick of butter, pepperoncinis, and roast. So can you guess what I'm making? Have you ever made this before? Definitely my favorite roast recipe, especially doing it in the Instant Pot. It'll be done in less than an hour. To go with our dinner, I am just setting out some dinner rolls to rise on a baking dish, and then I'm going to cover it with saran wrap. You want a strawberry? There you go. But some of it I am going to put in the fridge so it stays longer. Like these pears, I just want to make sure that we use them before they go bad. So I'm going to put those in a basket for the fridge. The grapes, I always keep in the fridge. Use this wash. I've shown it before. I get this one from Trader Joe's. It's just the kind that I always have on hand. I do the same thing with all the apples. These need to get a really good scrubbing. And then a couple of them I'm going to slice and put them in my fridge so that way it's just easy for my son to grab it and eat them. If they're like this, he's either going to need to ask for help to peel it or he's just not going to eat them. The lemons, the oranges, the apples, those are the only fruit I really don't put into the fridge. I don't put those in the fridge unless I have to. Like this tomato we're going to be using in the next day, so it's going to be okay. But if I knew I wasn't ready to use it for like 3 more days, I would for sure put this one in the fridge. The rest of them are going to be really great just sitting on the counter, no problem. A fruit bowl is just so inviting. Somebody suggested to me trying to regrow my green onions, so I'm going to give it a try. We'll see what happens. Set them there. Next on my to-do list are all of the vegetables. I'm prepping first the ones that I'm using for dinner tonight, which would be some russet potatoes and some whole carrots. I need to just peel and chop both of those. And then you can save all of your peels, even onion peels, potato peel. You can stick them into a bag and then into your freezer or a jar or a container, whatever. Stick them into your freezer, and then once you've collected enough, go ahead and make some broth. All right, so for the dinner, I have the potatoes and carrots, and I like to chop them really rough, like more rustic, if you will. So I don't know, I don't like to make them be like perfect. I don't like them to be circles. Now I need to just get these both on to boil so they're done in time for dinner tonight, and then move on to the other vegetables. I'm doing some carrots and cucumbers with a homemade ranch. I find that if you have pre-portioned snacks, they are going to be eaten much more quickly than if you have to portion them every time you're ready to eat. So if you're hungry and you look into the fridge or the pantry for something, you're most likely going to grab what is easy, what is quickest. So having this ready to go is going to just ensure that we have a healthy choice that is going to be easy, more likely to be eaten. In addition to the homemade ranch dip, I also wanted to make some hummus. So for that, I just used some already cooked canned garbanzo beans, some fresh squeezed lemon juice, also some olive oil. You're gonna need some water to help thin it out if you're not gonna use tahini, which I chose not to use, and then also some fresh garlic, cumin, and some salt. This was so quick and easy to put together, especially because I was using canned garbanzo beans. But if you had a bag, you could even save more money by cooking them yourself first. I'm leaving the recipe for this down in the description box for you below. My only suggestion is that you would need more garlic and some more salt than what is recommended in the recipe. That's good. For dinner, I'm just going to mash the potatoes, and then with the carrots, I removed some of the water that they boiled in and then transferred the rest of it over to a larger skillet. And then I'm going to glaze them basically with some brown sugar, some honey, and then some salt. You can use butter. This time I did not, and it turned out awesome. And then the key ingredient, I feel like, is also some fresh minced garlic. While dinner is finishing up, I'm gonna go ahead and get some breakfast burritos made. I have those discounted tortillas, my husband's breakfast cheese of choice, and then some of the eggs. I prefer the brown, he doesn't really care, so I'm gonna finish up some of these white eggs while we still have them. And then I'm gonna add some chopped up onion right to the egg mixture, and then also season it up with some salt and pepper. So very basic. You could add any kind of other vegetables that you wanted to. You could do spinach, you could do peppers, you name it, anything you want to. And you would think that adding some salt and pepper to this egg mixture would be easy, but you know. for the burritos and carrots on the back because multitasking with meal prep is what helps it go fast. Then potatoes. To go with the eggs in the breakfast burritos, I'm just going to cook up some sausage. I happen to have patties on hand, but if you had ground sausage, that's fine too. If you have bacon, whatever you want to add. And then I just had that all ground up and ready to transfer over to the tortillas with the cheese. And I'm just topping it off with my husband's favorite hot sauce. All right, so we ended up with six of the burritos, and a couple of them I didn't add hot sauce to. We'll see if he prefers it with or without, and I don't remember which one has it and which one doesn't, so he'll be surprised. And this is the bag that I have in my freezer of 2 more biscuit sandwiches, and it's already labeled. See how that works? Last time they were mislabeled because I was reusing a bag, but now it just works out. They are going to be labeled correctly, so. All right, so I have a bag of pancakes that I already made, and this was, a few weeks ago. And then this turkey sausage that I picked up in my discount haul. So this was so close to date that I stuck it in my freezer, and I don't want to make breakfast for Weston to have just sitting in the fridge for an entire week because the sausage will go bad. So I'm going to just do some freezer individual portions so he can just pull it out and be good to go for, a week. All right, so I have 6 of the pancakes, have 2 pieces of sausage. The 7th portion, I'm going to do 2 pancakes and have that day he'll just have maybe some peanut butter on them with some. So because I don't like to use a lot of disposable storage solutions, I'm just going to keep the 1 bag. And now that I took it all out, I portioned it, I know how many I can tell him, okay, when you eat pancakes in the morning from the freezer, get 1 pancake and 2 pieces of sausage, and they're already broken up for him, easy to get now. So that way they'll stay good in the freezer, but I also have it portioned out, I know what he can eat, and he will too. The roast is finished cooking and everything else is already done as far as the carrots. The potatoes are cooked, so I'm just going to finish off by mashing the potatoes. You can add anything that you like to your mashed potatoes. If you want to do some cheese, my grandma used to do that sometimes. You could add sour cream. You could add some kind of steakhouse seasoning. I'm just going to go very basic with the butter, salt, milk. You could use heavy whipping cream for a richer potato, so all up to you. Good morning. Another day, another dollar. Just kidding, not another dollar. There's always another dish, another dishwasher full of things to be unloaded and reloaded again. But the wonderful thing about dishes just never ending is the fact that you have food that never ends being put onto plates. So we're thankful for that. Good morning. So the first thing I'm going to get started on is all of the chicken that I bought for the month. And if you remember this from the haul, it said chicken legs. So I'm excited to crack into this and see, is it legs or is it thighs or is it both? Oh, this is thigh. I don't know if that's the reason why it was marked down. So what I'm gonna do with this chicken is portion it into 2 different freezer meals. I'm going to season it, get all the sauce that I need for it, and then that way I can just dump it into my Instant Pot or slow cooker on the day that I want to use it. So I label my bags with a Sharpie, say exactly what the meal is, and it's like super easy. For this recipe sauce, I'm just going to be using equal parts brown sugar, honey, and soy sauce. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water probably toward the end. And then I'm going to season it with some ginger. You can use ground ginger, you can use fresh ginger. I have this new ginger paste basically that I just picked up. And then also some sriracha and a garlic pepper. To tackle the rest of this chicken, get it ready for the freezer, meal prep, and freeze. All right, so I'm looking up a recipe for some Amish baked oatmeal because in the morning I just gravitate toward eating carbs. I like comforting food in the morning, but this looks really good. It says that it holds its shape, so it's not going to end up being like a mushy, typical bowl of oatmeal. Instead of grabbing a Pop-Tart or cookies that I have baked, it looks like it's gonna be something really easy just to grab in the morning. So, eggs, maple syrup, baking powder, cinnamon, vanilla, salt, milk, butter, oats. Yeah, it looks really easy. Oh, you can make it into muffins. That would be even easier. Add a half a cup of applesauce to the liquid. Okay, I wonder why. It says that you can add these kind of things to the top, so that sounds good. I'm probably gonna do pecans in some, berries in some. All right, we're mixing the milk, eggs, maple syrup, butter. Oh, I gotta melt the butter. is a teaspoon of cinnamon. Okay, anytime a recipe calls for cinnamon, double it. That's just what you do. So 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, that's half, 1 1/2, 2. Now you know something. It said to add applesauce if I want to make this in muffin cups. You know what? If you can add applesauce, I wonder if you could add banana. That sounds like it'd be good. All right, we're gonna follow the recipe exactly this time, aside from the cinnamon, because I never follow the recipe for cinnamon. But I guess we should get some applesauce and try that. So it said to add 1/2 cup of applesauce. I think this is 1/2 cup. Did it say the 4 ounces? Yeah, this is 1/2 cup. My homemade applesauce is just way too chunky, so I'm just gonna use this stuff. I mean, it smells so good, but it's super liquidy. Here, I'll show you. All right, so I forgot to add the vanilla. So I still have a little bit left. Try to top these. Go into the oven for 20 to 25 minutes. That's at 350. Our chicken just came out of the oven. So 1 portion of the chicken is going to go into a Tupperware container for our salads for the week. And then the other portion I'm going to stick into the freezer in a Ziploc bag so that it's ready to go for next week. I like to go ahead and just get 1 whole pan done at once. It's less prep for next week. Now we have all of this raw chicken ready to go into the freezer for future meals. I can pull this out and stick it into my Instant Pot, turn it into soup. The chicken breast, I can take it out, cook the chicken, and then shred it, turn it into chicken salad. So that is just one less step for me to do later. I also needed to take out one of these 1/2 gallons of milk that I stuck into the freezer. I took milk out like I showed you, and this is why it's so important, because it's going to expand in the freezer. So now when I stick it into the fridge, it won't be as full, but when it freezes, it expands. So I get this put in there so it can start thawing out while we still have plenty of milk for the next 2 days. That looks so delicious. I mean, Pop-Tart who? All right, should we do a taste test? I mean, like, obviously we should, but. You need to go make this right now. Like, make it right now. You wanna try it? Go. Go on it. Good girl. It's so good! That's a winner! That's a winner! That's a winner! All right, that is it. Thank you so much for joining us today. We got a lot accomplished. Some winning recipes I will link in the description box for you. Okay, bye-bye.